Ladies and gentlemen, as you're probably aware, I'm building another gasifier. This one's going to run a car, a 1992 Geo Metro convertible with a 55 horsepower 3-cylinder engine. And that seems like all anybody ever wants to do with a gasifier. They want to run a vehicle with them so they can drive around, or they want to run a generator so they can make electricity at home. But there's a lot more these devices can be used for than just running engines. So while I'm developing this one to eventually find its way into my Geo Metro, I would like to demonstrate a few of its other capabilities along the way. At the moment, we're in a pretty crude state, just sitting here up against the garage door with its cooling system placed on top of it, leaned up against a cherry picker like it wants to fall over. We'll call this early development. It's usable, it is a functional gasifier, but it's not actually hooked to anything, and hooking it to something is probably the biggest part. So let's look at some of my world-famous artistry to help us understand what we can do with this device at this point. Yeah, I bet you wish your kid could draw like me. Have you ever been laying it on super thick and had somebody tell you they like your subtle humor? That's where I'm at 90% of the time, but this is what we're looking at. We've got our firebox. I've had this firebox for a very long time. It used to run a stationary saw at my old house, and it would make sense to build one specifically to fit into the vehicle. I really want to use this one because it's kind of sentimental to me. Then we've got our cooler right here, and a line connecting the firebox to the cooler. This is not the cooler that's going to be in the vehicle. We need a lot more power than this. This is just a cooler I put together to demonstrate this firebox. And then we've got our pump right here, a line connecting the firebox to the cooler and a line connecting the cooler to the pump. I just use this cheap mattress inflator right here. On the vehicle, this only runs part-time. It just needs to get the fuel up to the engine. From there, the vacuum of the engine takes over, and this can be shut off. But this takes electricity. These cooling fans take electricity. We need to power those. I don't want this unit to require outside power, and I don't want it to have a battery that's just going to run dead. So I decided to split the lines here and power a small engine that will most likely turn a one-wire alternator just to keep the battery charged to power the fans and the pump. A small engine turning an alternator just enough to keep this battery charged would only take about 2 horsepower, and this firebox ran a 4-cylinder Wisconsin all day long, so we'll have lots of extra fuel to do other things. That's why I split the lines. We'll have a line going down to our little engine, but we'll also have another line to play with other things. So I guess now it's time to make the video of me putting together a control panel and wiring harness to operate all of this. I don't know how long it'll take, but it shouldn't take too long, so look for that video.